Think your day's going badly? Wait until you hear about the guy who tried to bond with a lion using nothing but a selfie stick and some treats. Because apparently watching circus videos makes you a big cat expert now. Hello everyone, welcome back to Wow Amazing. Today, we're diving headfirst into volume 36 of our top 10 most stupid Darwin Award winners. And trust me, this batch is something special. But before we jump in, make sure you smash that subscribe button and hit the notification bell. Because let's be honest, you don't want to miss the next episode where we explore even more ways humanity has failed the intelligence test. Trust me, after watching these stories, you're going to want notifications for every single episode. Number 10, basketball player takes a dunking. Let's kick things off in Melbourne, Australia, where a 20-year-old decided to celebrate his slam dunk in the most dramatic way possible. It's a casual day, just shooting hoops with your brother and teenage cousin in your own driveway. You nail a perfect slam dunk, and feeling like you're in the NBA Finals, you hang on that rim for a triumphant moment. Here's where things go sideways, or should I say, downward. The bricks holding that hoop? Yeah, they weren't exactly built to NBA standards. The entire wall came crashing down on our basketball star, crushing him to death. Talk about bringing the house down. His family, understandably devastated, requested authorities keep his name private. But wait, it gets worse. Apparently, Melbourne has a bit of a track record with deadly basketball incidents. Back in 1996, a 19-year-old named Ryan Maloney died the same way when a public court hoop collapsed on him after a dunk. The coroner actually recommended banning basketball dunking altogether. You heard that right, a full ban on dunking. Did anyone listen? Nope, because apparently the thrill of hanging on a rim for 3 seconds is worth the risk of getting crushed by falling infrastructure. Now, I'm no engineer, but maybe, just maybe, before installing a basketball hoop on your garage, check if those bricks can handle more than your average strong breeze. And if you're in Melbourne, perhaps consider switching to a sport with less structural requirements, like frisbee or chess. The real kicker here is that this guy survived childhood, teenage years, and early adulthood, only to be taken out by the most mundane piece of sporting equipment. Number 9, the snowmobile spectacular. Meet our 28-year-old thrill seeker, a man who heard partially frozen lake and thought, yeah, that sounds like the perfect drag strip for my snowmobile. But why stop there? This genius decided to up the ante by towing a sled packed full of fireworks. Because nothing says I value my life quite like combining unstable ice, high-speed vehicles, and explosive materials, right? This Einstein had made a bet with his friends that he could pull off this stunt. The locals had been warning everyone about thinning ice conditions, but our hero wasn't about to let little things like safety warnings or basic physics ruin his moment of glory. So what happened? Well, exactly what everyone except him predicted. He revved up that snowmobile and took off across the lake, dragging his payload of explosives behind him. The ice, apparently not impressed by his confidence, decided it had had enough. Right at the midway point, the surface cracked like an egg, and down he went into the frigid water below. But wait, there's more. Remember those fireworks? Yeah, they didn't appreciate the sudden bath either. Upon hitting the water, they ignited in a spectacular underwater explosion. The result? Our thrill seeker was literally boiled alive in his own underwater light show. It's like he created his own personal hot tub from hell. His friends on shore got the show they were expecting, just not in the way anyone wanted. They literally watched as their buddy turned himself into human soup, complete with special effects. Number 8, the lion tamer wannabe. This one's for everyone who thinks watching YouTube videos makes them an expert at literally anything. We've got a 32-year-old man who watched a few circus videos and somehow convinced himself he had a spiritual connection with big cats. You know, because apparently watching a Lion King marathon gives you mystical powers over apex predators. So what did our spiritual guru do with this newfound wisdom? He decided to break into a zoo at night to bond with a lion, breaking and entering, but make it spiritual. Now, most of us would bring, I don't know, maybe some protective gear or at least a really big stick if we were going to visit a lion. But not this guy. Our hero came armed with the modern warrior's arsenal, a selfie stick and some treats. A selfie stick? For a lion, it's the middle of the night. Our spiritually enlightened friend has just climbed into the lion enclosure, and he's approaching a sleeping lion with treats in one hand and a selfie stick in the other. He's probably thinking about the likes he'll get, the viral potential, maybe even a book deal about his unique connection with nature. The lion, meanwhile, wakes up. What happened next was as predictable as a sunrise. The lion, showing absolutely zero interest in this guy's spiritual journey or his snack offerings, immediately mauled him. The zookeepers rushed in to help, but by the time they got there, the lion had already torn him apart. Turns out, years of evolution and predatory instincts trump your weekend binge watch of circus documentaries. Who knew? Here's the thing that gets me. This guy genuinely believed that watching videos gave him some kind of special understanding of wild animals. The lion didn't care about his spiritual connection. The lion just saw a midnight snack that conveniently delivered itself. Number 7, wife tossing in Buenos Aires. This story from Argentina proves sometimes karma works faster than you'd expect. It's February 1998 in Buenos Aires. A 25-year-old man and his 20-year-old wife are having a heated discussion. This argument escalated to the point where our genius husband decided to pick up his wife and throw her off their 8th-floor apartment balcony. But the universe intervened with instant karma. As she fell, she got tangled in the power lines below. Picture her hanging there, terrified but alive. Meanwhile, her loving husband looks over the balcony and sees her suspended in the electrical cables. Then he does something that makes no sense. He jumps after her. We'll never know what was going through his mind. Was he trying to finish the job in twisted rage? Or did he suddenly realize what he'd done and thought he could rescue her? Either way, his plan failed spectacularly. Our flying husband completely missed the power lines and plummeted straight to the ground, dead on impact. Meanwhile, his wife managed to swing herself over to a nearby balcony and was saved. Let that sink in. He tried to kill her, failed, then accidentally killed himself while she survived. If karma were a person, it would be high-fiving itself. There's even a bonus story from Panama City where Maria Mendez was thrown off a balcony by her boyfriend. But Maria grabbed onto him and dragged him down with her. Talk about, if I'm going down, you're coming with me. Number 6, guy gulps goldfish. Let's slow things down with a story from Ohio that'll make you think twice about dare traditions. It's January 29th, 1998. Michael, 23, is hanging with his buddies on a Wednesday. Typical bro time, watching a friend clean his fish tank. His friend complains about one particular fish that's become a problem. This 5-inch aquatic menace has outgrown the tank and been eating all the other fish. It's basically the neighborhood bully of the fish tank. Michael, feeling helpful or just really dumb, volunteers to solve the problem. His solution? Eat the fish. Yeah, just swallow it whole. Because apparently that seemed reasonable. Spoiler alert, the fish had other plans. That predatory little beast decided it wasn't going down without a fight. It got stuck in Michael's throat and just stayed there. Lodged, immovable. Michael started gasping for air. His face turned blue, and he dropped to his knees. His 3 friends called 911. The dispatcher must have been confused when they said their friend had eaten some fish and was having trouble breathing. When paramedics arrived, they found the fishtail still sticking out of Michael's mouth. Picture that scene, grown man, fishtail protruding from his lips, friends standing around wondering how they're going to explain this. Despite their best efforts, neither Michael nor the fish could be saved. That killer fish claimed one final victim. Police Major Mike Matulevich summed it up. If I dare you to jump off a bridge and you do it, you're stupid. The moral? Just because you can do something doesn't mean you should. Number 5, modus operandi misfires. Let's head to Pittsburgh for a story about a car thief with peculiar ethics and worse self-preservation. Meet Randy Nestor, 28, a career criminal with 10 years in the auto theft business. But Randy had standards. He was, in his twisted way, a considerate criminal. After stealing cars and joyriding until they became hot, most thieves would just abandon them. But not Randy. He thought that was rude. So what did this thoughtful thief do? He torched them, set them completely on fire. His reasoning? Burning the cars helped owners collect insurance money. In Randy's mind, he was doing them a favor. Steal car, use car, burn car, repeat. It worked throughout his entire decade-long career, until it didn't. One day in March 1998, Randy found himself inside a stolen van, preparing to torch it. He started the fire from inside because apparently that's how he rolled. But then he made a crucial discovery. The driver's side door handle was broken, normally a minor inconvenience. You just climb out another door, right? Except Randy had already locked the doors from the inside. With the fire spreading, suddenly Randy's considerate car-burning service became his own personal crematorium. His friends outside tried desperately to free him. They pulled on doors, tried to break windows, probably screaming at him to unlock them. But it was too late. The van was fully engulfed, and Randy was trapped inside his own fire. The irony is almost poetic. Randy spent 10 years burning other people's cars without incident. But the one time he needed to escape, the universe locked him in. Number 4, igniting fireworks the easy way. Let's visit to East Java, Indonesia, for a tale that proves the universal truth. Boys will be bis, and sometimes those boys will blow themselves up. It's January, and we've got two guys, Isomudin, 28 from Kenongo, and Matkijo, 20 from Telasi. Now, firecrackers are illegal in Indonesia, but that doesn't stop people from getting them on the black market during celebrations like Eid al-Fitr, the feast marking the end of Ramadan. Our two protagonists managed to score a large quantity of firecrackers, and like any reasonable people with explosives, they decided to set them all off at once. But lighting them one by one? That's for amateurs. Our dynamic duo had a much more efficient plan. They connected all the detonation fuses to a motorcycle battery. Yeah, you read that right. They basically built themselves a bomb and attached it to a power source. Because when you're dealing with illegal explosives, the smart move is obviously to wire them to something that can deliver a massive electrical charge all at once. Now, most people at this point might pause and think, is this a good idea? But not Isomudin and Matkijo. These two masters of disaster proceeded to start the motorcycle engine. What happened next was entirely predictable to everyone except them. The explosion was so massive it could be heard from 2 kilometers away. That's over a mile. Imagine sitting in your house and hearing this thunderous boom that rattles your windows and makes you wonder if a bomb just went off. Well, technically it did. Onlookers who heard the explosion rushed to the scene, hoping to rescue the 2 men. But when they got there, the damage was insurmountable. Both men had suffered burns so severe that there was nothing anyone could do. They died right there at the scene, probably before they even realized what had gone wrong. But the carnage didn't end with our 2 firework enthusiasts. 8 other people who were nearby got caught in the blast and had to be treated at a local hospital for their injuries. So not only did these guys manage to remove themselves from the gene pool, they also took several innocent bystanders along for a painful ride to the emergency room. Number 3, never too old for a Darwin Award. Who says Darwin Awards are just for young people? Let me introduce you to 2 senior citizens who prove that age doesn't bring wisdom. Sometimes it just brings more creative ways to set yourself on fire. First up, Bob Hirschler, 77, from Olympia, Washington. Bob enjoyed a nice pipe, which is fine. The problem started when Bob put his still smoldering pipe in his shirt pocket, the pocket right next to his chest, containing a book of matches. The pipe ignited those matches, and suddenly Bob's chest was ground zero for a personal bonfire. His clothing caught fire, and he'd suffered 3rd-degree burns before his family could react. Bob eventually died from pneumonia brought on by his burns at Harborview Medical Center, all because of a smoldering pipe. But wait, there's more senior citizen pyrotechnics. Meet Reva Nix, a 67-year-old grandmother from Edgewood, Texas, who decided her tennis shoes needed cleaning. But Reva's cleaning method was unconventional. She cleaned her shoes with gasoline while wearing them, next to a lit candle. Let me say that again. She cleaned her shoes with gasoline while they were on her feet, in the same room as an open flame. Shockingly, the candle ignited the gasoline-soaked shoes, with Reva still in them. Her 65% polyester clothing basically turned her into a human torch. Alone at the time, Reva ran next door for help. Her neighbor extinguished the fire with a hose, but it was too late. Reva died at 2 a.m. at Parkland Hospital. Number 2, repairs on the road. This story from Michigan is going to make you wince and question every decision you've ever made about car repairs. It's March 1995, and we've got James Burns, 34, from Alamo, Michigan. James had a problem. His farm-type truck was making a troubling noise. Now, most of us would either ignore it or take it to a mechanic. But James had a unique diagnostic method. He decided the best way to identify the source of the noise was to listen to it while the truck was moving. Which, okay, that makes some sense. But here's where James's plan took a sharp turn into Stupidville. Instead of driving the truck himself and listening, or even having someone drive slowly while he walked alongside, James decided to get a friend to drive the truck on the highway while he hung underneath it. Underneath, a moving vehicle, on a highway. So James is literally dangling beneath his truck like some kind of discount stuntman while his friend drives down a public highway. This isn't a movie set with safety harnesses. This is just two guys who apparently thought this was a perfectly reasonable solution to a mechanical problem. What happened next was as inevitable as taxes. James's clothes caught on something underneath the truck. And when I say caught, I don't mean snagged. I mean caught in the drive shaft, the rapidly spinning component that transfers power from the engine to the wheels. The friend behind the wheel had no idea anything was wrong until he stopped and found James wrapped in the drive shaft. And when they say wrapped, they mean wrapped. The drive shaft had essentially wound him up like a spool of thread. Here's what really gets me. At no point during the planning phase did either of these guys stop and think, hey, maybe this is dangerous. They didn't consider that highway speeds and unprotected human bodies don't mix. They just thought, truck make noise, me hang under truck. Problem solved. Number 1, death by train. And now we've reached the number 1 spot in our countdown of catastrophic decision-making. This story from Kansas proves that sometimes common sense takes a vacation and never comes back. It's August 2nd, 2002. We need to establish 3 fundamental facts about trains. First, trains cannot stop quickly. Second, trains cannot swerve. Third, in any collision, the train always wins. These aren't complicated concepts. Children understand this. Even pigeons grasp that standing on train tracks is a bad idea. But Jackie Chambers, a 43-year-old man from Olathe, somehow missed all these memos. Here's what happened. Jackie was driving on Interstate 35 when his vehicle broke down. His sloppy jalopy gave up the ghost. Most of us would call a tow truck and stand safely away from traffic. But Jackie needed to make that call right away and needed the perfect spot. So where did he choose to stand? On the train tracks that ran parallel to the highway. Yes, the actual train tracks, the ones trains use to run on regularly. But it gets worse. A train engineer spotted Jackie standing on the tracks ahead. The engineer laid on the horn that deafening blast trains use to warn people to get off the tracks. He started braking, though he knew it wouldn't matter. And what was Jackie doing? He was standing there with his cell phone pressed to one ear and his other hand cupped over his other ear to block out the noise. The noise of the train about to hit him. He was literally blocking out the sound of his own death approaching because it was interfering with his phone call. Jackie was so focused on his conversation that he actively tried to block out the thundering noise of an oncoming locomotive. On the tracks he was standing on, the engineer could only watch in horror. There was nothing he could do. Jackie Chambers was struck and killed instantly. This wasn't a split-second decision. Jackie had time. He had options. He could have stood literally anywhere else, but he chose the single most dangerous location in the entire area. Bonus entry, out of their minds. Just when you thought we were done, we've got a bonus entry from Holland that'll make you reconsider any bus tour. It's August 23rd, 1997. A group of employees are enjoying a company day out. Someone in management decided everyone needed team building, so they loaded everyone onto a bus for a sunny tour. Everything's going great until some boisterous employees discover the bus has a rooftop window and start sticking their heads out. Imagine grown adults acting like puppies on a car ride, faces in the breeze, laughing and singing. The bus driver told them several times to knock it off. He warned them to pay attention to the road and stop their foolishness. But did they listen? Of course not, because they were adults, and adults don't have to follow rules, right? Two men in particular were really enjoying themselves, heads out the window, singing as the wind blew across their faces. They were having the time of their lives. And then the bus entered a viaduct. The sound of cracking bone echoed throughout the entire bus. Every single passenger heard it. That sickening sound of skulls meeting concrete at high speed. The two men fell back into the bus, dead, with cracked skulls and broken necks. The other passengers went from enjoying a pleasant outing to being trapped on a bus with two corpses and more trauma than any corporate counseling could address. When asked about safety regulations, the chauffeur gave a response that perfectly captures the absurdity. "I always lock the damn thing when kids are in the bus, because kids just don't listen." But for God's sake, these were adults. These weren't children who didn't know better. These were adults who had been explicitly warned multiple times and chose to ignore those warnings. And there you have it, Volume 36 of the Darwin Awards. From basketball hoops to train tracks, we've covered the full spectrum of catastrophic decision-making. Which story shocked you the most? Drop your answer to our riddle in the comments. And the first 5 correct answers win our prize pack. Don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Share this with someone who needs a lesson in common sense.